Well, we're cruising around my old stomping grounds today. It's coming down to my last few days here in San Diego. I'm going to be doing a brake job on the van tomorrow. Just spending the last few days visiting with friends and family, taking advantage of that. Today I'm actually out driving around, just kind of been reflecting on things since, I've made this transition into this van life over 3 years ago now. It's been crazy. But we're coming up on here off to the right, this apartment complex. That was my very first apartment. I was 18 years old. I turned 18, and I've always kind of had this independent spirit about me. I'd go in there, but it's a gated complex. Big 2-bedroom apartment, 2 bathrooms, big living room, big kitchen, dining area, $600 a month back then. I'd imagine now it's at least $1,500 at least for that same apartment. I moved in there with a friend. We split the rent, so it was like $300 at the time. I was going to community college up the road here and working at a grocery store in the produce department. Did produce department work in grocery stores for quite a few years. I went through a couple different stores, about 3 different stores. I enjoyed the work. I liked the teamwork and customer service aspect of it. And this is kind of also the area, it's near the area where I actually grew up in my parents' house. So I was kind of stuck somewhat close to home when I was moving around from apartment to apartment. One thing, it's crazy. This Jack in the Box has been torn down and rebuilt since the last time I was here in San Diego, just a year ago. Seems like every time I leave and come back, they've done some more expansion or rebuilding. This is called Jackson Park. Look at all these trees. So nice to just throw a blanket down and hang out under a tree, have a picnic or whatever. Always enjoyed this park. Actually, before I got the van, I purchased a little old Toyota mini motorhome, little Class C, kind of like a Toyota Dolphin, but it was actually made by a company called Gypsy. It's quite a rare vehicle. We'll throw a picture up of it here. Now, I remember that parking lot was one of the first places I went. Of course, you're not allowed to sleep overnight, and I didn't. I pulled in there about 8 a.m. Was kind of tinkering around in the motorhome. That was my first knock from a police officer. I got a knock. And of course, he was just assumed that I had slept there. I answered the door and of course was fully dressed and wide awake, and he was surprised. He goes, "Oh geez, I thought I would have woke you." I said, "No, I just got here, sir. What can I help you with?" And he just wanted to let me know that there's no overnight parking. I said, "I appreciate it. It's not what I'm doing." And soon after that, I sold that little Class C. It was just too big. It's too old, needed a lot of renovation work. This was kind of a money pit. So that was when I started researching vans and realized that the van was the vehicle for me. So I found this little place here. Of course, it's been all rebuilt now. They tore it down to the ground and rebuilt it, but it's just a little 1-bedroom cottage. I was paying $1,000 a month, had a garage, and at that time I had taken over a friend of the family's landscape business. Basically routine maintenance. I was like a gardener, just mowing lawns, trimming hedges. It was a good way to make a living. It's hard work in the summertime in the heat, but I enjoyed it. Actually, that little cottage at the time I was renting is owned by the same owner as this little apartment complex on the right here. And I did that landscape and mowing lawns for, almost 10 years. It was just about 9 years when I gave it up. We're gonna go drive by the next place I was renting. And that's where pretty much I made the decision to make some serious changes in my life. I pretty much had a meltdown. I don't know if it's midlife crisis or what, but things just were not going good for me. I was hanging out with some pretty negative people for some reason, just made real bad choices. And before I knew it, I just kind of didn't want to live anymore. It was kind of a sad state of affairs. And I reached out to some friends and family, did a big yard sale, sold all my stuff, and started making some steps towards doing something different with my life. This area is called La Mesa. It's actually its own little city in San Diego. It's got its own zip code. These are all like duplexes. Most of them are either side by side or a stacked duplex. It's a little 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom on top of each other or side by side. And I would kind of seek out these places because they were generally lower in rent, kind of an older neighborhood. So yeah, I enjoyed it. This place we're coming up on here was the last place I rented ever. After that, I moved back in with my parents for a little bit, got back on my feet, ended up in the van. It's weird. I recognize it's been over 3 years, 4 years, gosh, almost 5 years since I've lived here, and some of the same vehicles are parked here. I lived up on top of this place here with the blue awning. Wonder if looks like the same neighbors are still there. Recognize his truck. Wonder if the same owner is there. Guy was on a mission to be a millionaire I was renting from. The owner actually lived below me, so it was kind of awkward. Making myself vulnerable on YouTube is a really, really big thing. And, I admire everyone else that's doing it. I feel like I'm just getting started in this and getting used to sharing my life with pretty much the whole world. And there's a lot of challenges in that. You make yourself vulnerable, and if you're somebody like me who is sensitive to the energies of the world and negativities, it's been really challenging for me to not get brought down and not get sucked into that negativity, and to not be negative myself. And that's something I've really been struggling with. And for the last couple weeks, the solution to that for me has been to quit YouTube and to stop making YouTube videos and just step away from this, because it seems that most of the negativity that I'm experiencing in my life, actually not most of it, pretty much all of it, is stemmed around my exposure on YouTube. And kind of had to make a decision, and I've decided within the last few days, I've really been meditating on this and talking with a close friend about this, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I realize that my struggles are my struggles, and I enjoy sharing my story with people with the hopes that they get some sort of hope or inspiration, because I know in life it can be very tough to lose hope. And when I was in positions where I was losing hope, there were people that I looked to that gave me hope. And if I can offer that to anyone, that to me is very, very special and important. And this YouTube channel is a perfect venue to do that. And I've just realized that I just need to step up and figure out a way for me to cope with the negativity that I'm subjected to. And I'm very, very fortunate. My channel doesn't get much negativity. Get very few people that insult me personally. It's more of just people just sharing a hateful, negative nature. And it, for some reason, with all the other positive comments, those few negative comments for some reason really affect me, and it's hard for me to shake them and even get caught up in being negative right back to those negative people. And that's not how I want to live my life. My life got better when I stopped doing that. So I need to, if I'm going to keep doing this YouTube thing, really figure out a way to cope with this negativity and deal with it, because it's not going to go away. So again, I just want to give a big thanks to everyone that's been following along, all you guys that have been with me since the beginning. It's really special to me. I recognize your names in the comments. Some of you have faded away, some of you are still there, and it's really special to me. I really need to give a shout out to my best friend Judy. She's been such a strong moral support for me. She provides me with so much support and love and advice. And she's really encouraged me to keep up this YouTube thing, because she believes that I have the ability to spread good, positive energy and inspiration, and that's what I want to do in life. So I'm going to keep at it, guys. Those of you that have stuck with me and are not getting the same content that they've expected or have gotten used to enjoying, I hope that you can continue to follow along and realize that I'm just sharing my life's journey here, guys. It's going to be a mixed bag sometimes. It's going to be a lot of travel, camping, boondocking, but there's also going to be some of me sharing my life experience and this whole journey of trying to build a new life for myself. So again, I appreciate and I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.